Hi, everybody. Well, big welcome to you. My name is Gina Virginia Casella. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've got more than 300 subscribers, so a big, big thank you to you. I really appreciate your support and your interest in me, Gina Virginia Casella. I've got all kinds of resources you can find for free on my YouTube, Cooking with Gina. You can find free audios of yours truly reading directly from the Dragon Dreams book series, which you can purchase on Amazon.ca or you can get instant access with Kindle. So, those of you who know me know that I always have so much to say. So, today we are celebrating the first day of winter. Today is officially December 21st. And you know what? It's not like right here in this moment, it's the first day of winter. It's like a few days before, a few days after, and arguably our calendar has completely changed. We used to thrive on a 13-month calendar, which was changed to a 12-month calendar. And so I never get hung up on dates. Every day is Christmas, every day is my birthday. I wonder about you. So, these free shows that I'm doing Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, this is just a temporary thing, folks. I'm going to be running a program and I'm still chipping away at my new website. So it's ginavirginiacasella.com, and I've got it down there in the description for you. And I'm really looking forward to our time together because I've had to, with the guidance of the moon energy and my gemstones, recalibrate some of my goals. And so, if you've been following me, I've been sharing publicly what's been working and not working. Also, doing the switcheroo, transforming from a regular entrepreneur to a spiritual biz entrepreneur, and also now officially moving on from my career as a public school teacher. So, lots of talk about goals. And um, so every Saturday, I just wanted to come and say hi to you. And I will be coming on YouTube Live 11 a.m. on Saturdays until the end of March. And then starting sometime, I need to double check the dates, end of March, beginning of April, I'll be running programs. I might offer some private sessions in the meantime. But I really want to push the group programs. And I'm wondering about you because something that I will assert is that we are a story species, stories are medicine. And I'm finding with my clients that they always feel alone. They always feel like they don't have anybody else to talk to. They feel like they're losing their mind. And just whether they're like everybody has a different way of participating. Some folks, they just like to show up and listen. Some folks like to actively share their stories. Um, but it's always refreshing, even if you don't say anything, just to listen and to receive and to know that you're not alone, even if people are talking about different versions or aspects of things like Bigfoot or angels or ETs. It's really important. And so I really want to push the group programs because when we do our group check ins, that's where it's going to be really powerful to connect. And so, anyways, I'm really excited and pumped up. And um, today, it's the last um, moon as well. So, working with the moon cycles. Next week, it'll be a new moon again. So, this Saturday, celebrating the last moon. Um, so, it's getting darker, if you will. The moon is waxing. And everything I have to say is not scripted. I just kind of plan ahead what I might want to say. And sometimes that completely changes for those of you who don't know me. And working with cycles is really important because it's appealing to our logical mind. And so I'm consistently trying to weave between the logical mind and the creative mind, the rational mind, the irrational mind. And there's this constant figure eighting between both worlds, if you will, bringing the black and the white together to create that gray space. And so it's really important to consistently work at this, just like when you're building a muscle. And without further ado, getting a bit ahead of myself here, I'm going to open up some sacred space and show you my real dream journals. Um, I'm not going to talk too much about them, but I'm going to be showing you how to transform, um, you know, how to transform these into these. So I want to really promote dream journaling and the reviewing and reflection that goes with it. I can't get it all in today. Um, and how you can easily publish on Amazon.ca using Kindle Direct Publishing KDP. So story species, I feel like this is part of my mission is telling stories, creating safe spaces to share stories, helping out with the transformational healing. That's all part of the Soul Tribe, and seeing that transform into this. And these books were actually a result of me trying to create my oracle cards. What I wanted to do initially is I thought, okay, I've got all these dream journals to go through. Now I'm going to start creating my oracle cards. And I started pulling out symbols and images and working with that. And I thought, okay, before I get too ahead of myself, I should probably start. I was using the dictate feature on Microsoft Word. And so I would talk into it about what each card meant. And I had so much to say that I ended up writing my first book, 40 going on 14, and I ended up writing 7 books. And I've got 2 dresser drawers to show you. So I'm just going to move these books out of the way. So just while I'm organizing my stuff here, I'm really excited because people have been asking me, like, when are you going to offer a workshop on dream journaling? And I thought, you know what, maybe that's what I'll do today, is just kind of get the party started, so that when I am offering my workshops, you'll have a little collection of journals already in place to build on. So I emptied this drawer. So when I show you my dream journals, they're going to neatly go right back, and then it'll stay nice and organized for me. Ugh. Okay, so now what I'd like to do is open up some sacred space, show you my journals, do some fire ceremony, close sacred space, and say goodbye to you. So it's been a process. Been a process, and I'm just really happy, and it's been a bit of a struggle. And like I said, stories are medicine, and so it's really important that we share our stories. All right, so just let me get my and when I come here, it's unscripted, but my programs, it's very like I know what I want to say. I've always got my key points, and I love facilitating. Um, Even though it's the first day of winter, my mind is like in the spring, if you will. It's like the end of winter, starting to go into the spring. And there's a conference I want to attend in July. So feeling very thankful today. To the winds of the south, great serpent, wrap your coils of light around us. Teach us to shed the past the way you shed skin, to walk softly on the earth. Teach us the beauty way. Aho. To the winds of the west, Mother Jaguar, protect us the way of peace, to live life impeccably. Show us the way beyond death. Aho. To the great winds of the north, cold you are these days. Hummingbird, grandmothers and grandfathers, ancient ones, come and warm your hands by our fires. Whispers, let us hear them. Let us hear your whispers in the wind. We honor you who have come before us, who will come after us, our children's children's. Aho. To the winds of the east, great eagle condor, come to us from the place of the rising sun. Keep us under your wing. Show us the mountains we only dare to dream of. Teach us to fly wingtip to wingtip with the greater spirit. Aho. Mother Earth, gathered for your honoring of all your children, the stone people, the plant people, the furred, the finned, the two-legged, the four-legged, and the winged ones. All of our relations, Pachamama, thank you. Aho. Father Sky, Father Sun, Grandmother Moon, to the star nations, Great Spirit, you who are known by 1,000 names, and you who are the unnamed one, thank you for bringing us together and allowing us to sing the song of life. Aho. And usually I open up my Widow Kocha first. I forgot to do it. That's okay. It's all about the intention. So if you're like me, it's okay. Okay, awesome. Our sacred space is open, and just like to keep my binder here to help me keep track. There's different ways to open up sacred space, and I'm working with my teachings from the Four Winds as I'm acquiring some um, teachings myself on my own spiritual journey as I enter into my calling more and more, deepening my calling more and more. Okay, so I've got two drawers full of books. So live and learn. It's important when you dream journal to dream journal every day. And if you have like a flight to catch early in the morning, get up extra early and dream journal anyways. If it's going to be one of those flights where it's just too complicated to be dream journaling, then don't do it. But The day before when you're dream journaling, remind yourself in your dream journaling, and tomorrow I'll be taking that flight, waking up extra early, and I won't be dream journaling, but I'll be thinking about you or whatever it is in your dream journal from diaries, if you will, from before that. You should be talking about how you're taking this flight and you won't be able to dream journal and asking for protection and guidance. So it's always nice to have special books. And initially, when I started dream journaling, I would just use any old random scrap piece of paper. And then I started to flip flop using a diary. I would even have a big envelope that I would just put random special quotes or things that I would write, um, a special symbol or picture to help jog my memory. And I didn't know what to do with that stuff. Um, I made it a point to buy special books, and I've also made it a point just to use regular paper, but, um, for myself personally, the best sheet of paper is a blank sheet, no lines. You don't wanna be inhibited by lines. If you wanna write large, small, draw a picture, draw arrows from here to there, you know what? Different strokes for different folks. No pun intended, but, like, some people, like myself, really thrive with a blank piece of paper. I get distracted by the lines. I don't mean to, but I feel like I need to honor the lines and stay within them. I feel like I don't like how my pictures are working with lines being on the paper. Um, Depending on the paper that I buy, sometimes the lines, they're like too neon looking, and I don't like that. The margin, I don't want that there. I just want it to be blank. I like having a blank page because I like to organize things. I'll just like write freestyle, but sometimes I'll just do a T chart or a Venn diagram, and I don't like the lines to be there. um, I find when I'm dream journaling, I tend to write really small. And so the lines just, I really could go on about how much lines don't work for me, but sometimes it's too bad. And I had lines because that's what was available. So you want to use what works for you, but you also want to be open. It's nice having a little book so you can just, in theory, carry it around with you. But this isn't the kind of book that you want to carry around with you. This is something that you want to keep at home and you want to leave it at home. If you want to go to the park and do some special meditations and dream journaling there, or maybe you're camping and you want to bring your dream journal, I strongly advise against it. I advise you to bring a separate booklet um, that you can just put right inside your current booklet, or you can bring some like a notepad with you and then literally staple those pages into your dream journal when you're back at home. It's a one of a kind original. You don't want to lose it, right? So just keep that in mind. And also, something that I learned was um, dream journals can get pricey. I like to go to the dollar store, but they end up costing like $4 for a journal. Um, and what am I doing with this? Do I need to be writing it down? Is dream journaling something that I can do on my computer? Well, you know what? For me, turning the lights on and having the computer screen on, that bothers me. So I've started to transition. Um, I'm trying to, because I'm so in tune with scribing, that I'm trying to work now on just being like an orator where I just orally speak and I use the dictate feature and it captures what I'm saying, and it types for me, if you will. But I find I have a stronger connection and information comes to me a lot smoother when I'm writing just because I'm in that habit. So do what works for you. Some people, they don't like to use words, all they do is use pictures. A point to be made, this takes a good 3, 6, 9 months, even more of every day consistently documenting your dreams. And I have a rule that every day, like pull a tarot card or reflect on your monthly tarot, however your routine is. Keep it there with your dream journal, your goals. It's all like merged into one thing. It's always ongoing. Your dream life, your real awakened life, your other dimensions, all of that's going to start meshing and molding and shaping and bridging together the more and more you do your dream journal. Um, when you do it, you might just feel like you're bitching and complaining. You might just feel like you're writing aimlessly. Do it anyways. If you just feel like, oh, I have to scribble this whole page purple, I don't know why, or for some reason I need to do triangles in the color green, well, then that's what you do. And you don't overthink it and you just keep at it. And eventually you'll have so many papers filled up that you can go back and start looking for patterns, and you won't notice all the patterns at first. So just keep doing it. Don't throw out your journals. Um, and eventually, like, do what works for you. Like, for example, use lined paper. Don't use lined paper. I'm full of tips and tricks, but in this moment, what I'd like to do right now is show you the dream journals. And I was accumulating so many that I actually I was a teacher at the time, so I really enjoyed using just blank paper. Um, and then I started to use those Hilroy booklets. So I've been talking your ear off, but I'm going to be quiet soon and just like literally start turning the pages. And if you want to pause it and zoom in and see what I wrote, that's the risk I'm taking. Like, we're a soul tribe. I'm pretty open. So anyways, I just want to make sure I don't fall over. So it's 11:24, and I think this might be harder for you to see than I initially anticipated. So don't worry. I'm going to bring you down here. You don't need to see me. Whoop, and there goes my light. This reminds me of cooking with Gina the other day. My whole little set fell down. Okay, so I'm going to unplug the computer. The battery is fully charged. Thank you for your patience, Dragon Dreamers. Okay. So the intention isn't for you to see like totally clearly. I know you can't see my face or anything, but you can see um, some of it. So basically, it's really important. I'm just going to be turning the pages here. It's really important that um, you put the date and the year. And I find it very helpful to put like if it's a Monday or Tuesday. And look at that, I actually just scratched myself a little bit. Doing things like making Venn diagrams, peace signs, trying to organize information. Sometimes I label things. This was my first glimpse of the Gnome King, right? So I was trying to manifest like how he looked. And I had a lot more journals, but these ones here, these are journals from um, that I haven't published yet. Some of it just from like my mind and my thinking I've published. This is when my cat Spooky died. I actually, this was before he died. It was like, I knew it was coming, but I didn't know. And then he died. And it was like, oh my God, I just drew this picture on November 22nd. And then November 23rd, rest in peace. So I'm writing in purple. Sometimes I'm writing in blue. In my ritual work, I use candles. If I have different colors, I'll use different colors. And then when I'm doing my dream journal, I make sure I'm honoring those colors. I trace my hand a lot. There's all kinds of spirals. Sometimes I'm highlighting words with the crayons. Lots of arrows. breathing in, breathing out. But you can just see like this is a mess, you know? This is a mess. And sometimes I would spend a long time writing my dream journal and then I would color all over it. Like the intention isn't to go back and read this like perfectly word for word. The intention is to look at it and kind of skim the pages for themes and symbols. And it's really cool how things come about. And I rewrote a prayer when I was a kid. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. And then it goes on, and I just put like this around it just to kind of make it stand out. It was not an opportunity by any means for me to like now start doodling. It was just an opportunity for me to write down what was on my mind. And that's the thing. When I'm doing my dream journal, I just free write. I don't worry about spelling. Out of habit, I scratch things out and whatnot, but I keep writing for the most part. I'm pretty good about that. This was one of the first pictures of me in the library. So I'd like to transform the Dragon Dreams books into a movie series. It was getting too complicated drawing pictures, so I started representing myself like these Pac-Man figures. And I would just adore to meet with a group of producers out there to go through these Dragon Dreams, the originals, and look at some of the pictures. And maybe part of the movie could be me doing this, like scribing, doing Dragon Dreams. Mm, tracing my feet, tracing my hands and feet was important to me as a kindergarten teacher. And then now when I trace my hands and feet, because kids in kindergarten, they're growing, right? Especially the development from September compared to June. And in my dream journal, hands and feet now are like so important to me, especially species and just like um, how we've developed over time and evolution, similarities like apes, for example, and people having the same style hands, feet, ears. This here I found in a book. Don't give way to despair, my son. It is a grave sin. Where there is breath, there is hope. And I write about that in my Dragon Dream series. Whoever you are, I found your letter in Lynn Buchanan's book, The Seventh Sense. It was a used copy, and this little letter was in there. So I can't help but wonder if this was somebody was scribing, doing their own dream journaling or remote viewing, and they got this message. And it was not a coincidence. It was good synchronicity at that time. When I read my dream journal over, sometimes I'll highlight things and just an emphasis on how messy it is. So when I'm um like this is just freestyle, a free write. And I was part of Tara Wild's Roundhouse. She goes by Tara Braiding these days. And I would print out all her stuff, and then these were like starting to merge with my dream journals because I would have like a big morning dream journaling, and then I would tune into Tara Wild's Roundhouse, and she would take us on these amazing like journeys and whatnot. Um, and just connections that I made with like old calendars and um, folks out there creating things like the alphabet. So she goes by Tara Braiding now, and she does a phenomenal job teaching about the Irish Celtic traditions. And I greatly resonated with this. It's targeted for females. Um, anything that I talk about, like when I talk about the goddesses and Bridget, it's coming from her. I'm really thankful. I was in her roundhouse for 2 years. I could have stayed for a third year, but financially, that's when things were starting to like really go downhill for me. I started to run out of paper, so I started to use the covers of my journals. The reason my journals are often in pink and purple, and green, it's because those are the only colors I had left. uh, you know, Blue was always gone. And then when I was dream journaling, I just used whatever I had. And I thought, oh, this would be like a fun way to also distinguish. So, some dream journals are a lot more colorful than others. And no matter what I do, I always do a combination. There's always some writing, there's always some pictures. Sometimes there's more pictures than words, but usually there's more words than pictures. And sometimes it depends what's going on in my life, but sometimes it's just like a little standard, hi, how are you, universe? This is what's going on. And then I pull a card and I get insight. You can see I'm lots of stuff here. And then when I started writing my books, I basically just started, like I said, the intention was to start writing the oracle. Um, Here's a good example of me just stapling something else in there. This was part of like my budget. My everyday to-do list started to become part of my dream journal. So, like me making business plans, it was like I would wake up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'd have conversations. This is me starting to make sense of my gemstone reading and identifying like who's Toby, who's Amanda. More gemstones were added later on. And all of this stuff here, um, this was stuff that I just felt like I didn't want to part with. I wasn't ready to part with it yet. This is just a little collection of things that I did before I was dream journaling. And it's also a collection of some dream journals that I didn't want to part with. And um, initially, I thought, well, I'm moving and I'm getting rid of everything. These almost all went in the garbage or recycling. And so dream journals that I already went through, I recycled them. And initially, I was taking pictures of them to like document, and my whole world was like falling apart. And that's another reason why you live and learn. But it taught me a lesson that um, yes, I want you to be inspired, and I want you to do like I did and start collecting journals so you have a bank of books to go through. But I don't want you just to be aimlessly collecting them. Like I want you to start, going through them and just like editing an Akashic record, rewriting those letters, going back to a journal entry where you're down in the dumps and you can say, hey, today is, for example, December 21st, 2024, and I'm reading this letter that I wrote to the universe about how I'm really down in the dumps, dated, 5 years ago, and I want to send that piece of me a little pep talk or something like that. And this is my letter writing it to that person right now. Or I want to rewrite my perspective because looking back, even though, yes, I was down in the dumps, it really wasn't that bad. Or maybe looking back, you know what, I was really down in the dumps, but for what it's worth, I was really cutting myself short. I should have been a lot more upset than I was. And now I'm going to be asserting, like, why, whatever those reasons. So, because I had so many journals, I wasn't overly concerned about it because, like I said, I was dating everything. But when I started getting this kind of abundance, it was best to put it in a binder and label the binder number one. So I've got another binder number two, and I'm going to show that to you. So in here, these are also like just other journals that I have to go through. Here's a lot of pink. So it's 2025, and this is going back from 2000 to 22. And when I moved, my journals were such a mess. I really thanked myself for putting the date on it. So you can just see, like, this is very messy and it's full of goals. And even if I didn't feel like doing a little doodle, I did one anyways. And it's just, you start to recognize things like this combination of the blue, um, the golden colors. Like that was the morning sunrise, you know. A lot of times I meant to use the color black, but I accidentally used the color purple. And then I realized I meant to do that. Just lots of stuff here. More Tara Wild mixed in there. Me working with sea geels. There's lots of teal swan in here. At the time, I was part of Marcella Loeb's 13 Moons. I took Greg Braden's Wisdom Codes. I'm still part of Dr. Alberto Rolaldo's Four Winds community. And 2025, I'm really looking forward to registering formally and finally for the energy medicine healing. And I'm still currently part of Dr. Bruce Lipton's Imaginal Cells community, which I have in 20 minutes from now, they're going to be starting their session. So stuff like this, like Goddess of the Land, you might throw a resource like that out in the garbage, but it's worth, when you're finished with it, adding it and keeping it with your dream dictionary, because my waking life and my dream life, this is how I was able to start merging it, So this is just two of many. Okay. Ugh. Now I'm going to show you a lot faster here. Maybe I'll just show you like this. So it's just one book of messiness after another. Here's a good example of me just coloring. And then I accidentally ripped the paper in half and then I stapled it together. I was like, this paper is really important, I put red bows beside things that I think are really important. This is a special one. This is one I like formally was like, okay, you're going to represent eagle condor and this rock's going to represent snake and that's where they're going to go. You can see here I'm, running out of paper. So I started writing on this kind of paper. It's just really special. So these ones here, I mean, they all kind of look the same. There's another one. I went to the dollar store. I found these. I really liked these because I was like, phew, thankfully it's back to the blank paper. And this made me feel like I was writing a story. And it was really liberating, switching from using my pens to using pencil crayons. So you can see me flip-flopping through here, switching from pens to pencil crayons. I start doing things like tracing my hand and transforming it into things like crows. So just kind of playing with shadows. Christmas tree. And of course, because I was writing with the pencil crayon, I went through pages a lot faster. So these other books pretty much look the same. I'll just show you a few more. Here is me writing in a bunch of green. It adds an element of coolness to it. Sometimes I found myself only using like 2 or 3 colors and working with color patterns. So there's a few more like that, but just in the interest of time, give me a moment to just want to make sure that these stay organized, even though they have their numbers on it. So I'll get the next pile. And like I said, I'm going to be offering a little mini course about how to dream journal. But the thing is, this isn't the kind of course where, like maybe I'll sell a video about the course and then you can just watch it as you want. But it's nice to meet as a group. So it would be nice if, you started, like the way I want to run the course is you're doing your homework behind the scenes, and once a month we meet together as a group and look over our dream journals, and it keeps us accountable too. um, so I started writing in books like this, was the point I wanted to make, and it was very appealing. It added to that story element. So I'll just bring my computer down here. Uh, Something that was getting in the way with these books is I couldn't write on the cover. I was getting used to that. I'm like, "Oh, I'm cheating the system. I've actually got 4 more pages because I've got a cover in the front and in the back, so that's front and back is 2 pages, and then the front and back of the back cover is another 2 pages." I was like, "Look at me beating the system." And then I get a book like this and I'm like, "What? I can't write on it." But I was still able to write on here. And some of my books, I would always start writing, um, you know, on the first lined page. And then I was like, forget it. I need to start writing here. And then I would start writing here. And then it just came to a point where I would start writing on the cover. And if the cover was empty, when I got to the end of the book, I would put a little arrow. And if I could, I would write on the back. And if the cover was empty, I would put an arrow and it goes here. So some of my journals, you look at it and it's like, what is this? Because the front of the cover is like the last page. So it's really important to just keep organized, put the day, month, year, all of that included with the date, and number your books. Just trust me, you'll save yourself a lot of grace. So just to show you, again, lots of scribbles. Yeah, I forgot about this. I went through a summer where I was learning what I thought was some kind of light language, and I still kind of am. Like these folks, if you will, they connect with me and they teach me in color. I'm not really sure what they're teaching me, but they're teaching me something. Sometimes too in my dream journal, I'll like write a song from childhood, or there's like some songs from Tara Wild that I learned, devotional songs to the goddesses, and I'll um, write that down in here. And you'll see, like I said, as the dream journals continue on, they merge more and more with my personal life. So I'll just show you this one here, just so you get a style of the books. It's like blue, wow, like a normal color, if you will. And I remember that. I remember it was really funny because it's like blue in my dream journal, like very distinctly, blue was my waking life writing color, right? And the pink and the green and the purple, those were my dream life writing colors. And then it was funny because I actually was running out of the pink and the green and the purple. I had to use blue, and it was like weird. And initially I didn't like that because I'm like, I don't want blue in my dream journal. That's my waking life color now. But then I was like, oh, this is actually the waking world, the blue color, if you will, now bridging in here in this book, right? And then um, when I'm not writing in my dream journal and I randomly use the color purple or pink or green, I'm like, oh, now my dream world colors are getting mixed up in here. Yes, this says fuck you if you're reading that. Read between the lines. This was clearly not a good one, but I'm laughing. I'm like, ha 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 ha. What the heck did I write about? Toby chimes in and says, this is a powerful symbol because, yes, we're saying fuck you, but we truly mean rise above. We're indifferent. So this is a nonverbal communication that doesn't mean like fuck you. It means like rise above. And we talk about swearing in here in my dream journal because in my dreams I'm like this 7-year-old girl, and my guides, they don't swear around me, but eventually they start swearing around me, and then they start like including me in their swears. And I have to say, for what it's worth, I was a public school teacher, and so I had to really practice what I was preaching. So my students, I taught a lot of primary, kindergarten to grade 3, and no matter what they did, I always had them do some kind of little doodle. Even if they had more time, they could spend more time on details, but just a little doodle. And I'm telling you, like doing a little doodle really added to the page, and I really enjoyed that. Nature became my teacher. I was my teacher. It was really great. Like I had to apply all those skills. So there's more books like that. And I just wanted to show you a different style. This one here. So whatever you're writing in, it doesn't matter. It just matters that you can make it work. Some of my dream journals, depending on what was going on, like a book like this, might only last me like 1 or 2, maybe 3 days at the most, because I was just downloading and processing a lot of information. So that's another pile for you. And I'll just show you my last little pile here. I think I've shown you all the styles. So here's another book just like that last one. Here I am writing on the back. So yeah, so I had to switch to permanent marker because I was just running right out of tools in general. And it's not often, but sometimes in my dream journal, I do write with permanent marker. And it's like, I really mean this kind of communication. Like if I got to pull out the permanent. Oh. And my oracle cards are based on these illustrations. And I don't know how many cards I have right now, but there's more coming. I'm not ready to publish them. Every time I sit down to start doing that, I feel like I end up producing another card. Lots of interesting information. It's hard for me not to stop turning these pages and to reread it. And it's not something I do often, but I am getting better at it. And that is, um, taking an afternoon and going over your information. So here's another book. I showed you that style. This one here, I lost the cover and it taught me a lesson. So I was like writing on the covers, and then I stopped um, doing that because I was worried about being at risk for losing a cover, and then I started putting them in the binder, and so I felt like that was safe. And so sometimes I'm missing a journal entry here and there because of that. And so these Hilroy papers were really good, but a point to be made: you need to put them in a binder when you're done. You know, so that was that reality. I also enjoyed using the sketchbook. Why? Because the papers are um, they're on the thicker side, and it's just a bunch of blank papers. This one's like totally highlighted in pink. Lots of figure eights and circles twisting and turning in my dream journal. But this is how it looks. The other day on Facebook, I saw somebody's, and they were showing a picture of when they scribe, and I was like, "What? It looks so like very nice penmanship." And I commented on that. I said, "You have really nice penmanship." And he said, I asked him, like, how does information come to you? And he was commenting that it's like he gets all of the information and then it just kind of like he processes it and then it comes out word for word. And that's why he's able to write with nice penmanship. But for me, it comes out in everything all at once, images. It's very overwhelming, and I can't keep up. Um, Sometimes it's fun to paint in your dream journal. And this here, I used my bloody tampon. I never played with my period blood before, and it was a really special time connecting, um, doing that kind of stuff. And so, anyways, I got to close space with you. But as you can see, um, it just goes on and on and on. And I was able to show you the different styles of books that I have. So, um, just like when you're writing stories or writing anything, don't worry about spelling or if it makes sense. Don't worry about grammar. Just get all the ideas down. If you're drawing a picture, don't overthink if you grabbed the color pink and you meant to grab green. Just go with it and keep doing what you're doing because you are picking up symbols. So let's just do some fire ceremony and then we'll just close our space. So thank you so much for today. I really enjoyed my time with you, and I just feel really honored to be moving into 2025. The year of the dragon, 2024, was a ferocious one, and I wasn't anticipating that. And it was a lot of heartache, but it's made a lot of space as well that I'm stepping into. And I always have so much to say, and I really appreciate taking the time to go through my journals and for folks who have purchased a copy on Amazon.ca. And I'm looking forward to all the connecting that we're going to do. What the world needs right now are hopes and dreams. And we, the biological ones, we have a power of our biology of belief that we can wield. And I'm delighted. Ouch, that last one got me there. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. I want to thank Snake for reminding me to shed my skin. I want to thank Jaguar for helping me to stay fierce. It's okay to be scared, and that's what being fearless means. It means being scared, admitting to that, but continuing to move forward, and that's what it means to have courage and to be courageous. And I'm thankful for Hummingbird, reminding me about my high quality items, to Eagle Condor for helping me gain perspective, and so many more things, to all of the star nations and many more above me, and to all below me, especially Pachamama, our earth, and the very land, the Pachamama that my body is. My body is a Pachamama. um, and thank you to my guides, Polaris, Amanda, Toby, the goddesses, Bridget, and everybody else who's come forward to walk with us during this journey. And thank you. Blessed be. My name is Gina Virginia Casella. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective. I'm also going to be doing some cooking with Gina. I'm going to be doing that a little bit later in the day today. And I hope you have a wonderful last quarter moon next week. Make sure you catch me for the collective new moon gemstone reading. Already time for another one. So that'll be next Saturday. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Gina Virginia Casella. Happy 300 plus subscribers. I would love for you to join my Facebook group, Dragon Dreams, and you can visit my website, ginavirginiacasella.com. Shortly, you'll be able to book services and also order some swag. So there's lots going on. Until next time, take care and we'll see ya. Keep dream journaling and let me know in the comments if you're using lined paper, blank paper, crayons, pencil crayons, paint, period blood. Keep it safe and let me know what you're doing. Take care. See ya.